Cleveland has a very high-performing department to help seniors and deal with any issues that might pertain to people that are aging or people with family members that are aging. My grandmother's 95 years young and just moved in with mom, and there's a whole host of issues that you have when you work with the other conversations.
Yeah.
So I'll hand it over to you and let everybody know what kind of services we have.
Absolutely.
Take it away.
So, hey everybody, my name is Adam, the Cleveland Department of Aging. I've been with the City of Cleveland Department of Aging for going on 9 years now. So it's been a lot of fun, very enjoyable, very educational for me, and hopefully impactful for folks like yourselves as well. I want to talk to you a little bit about what the Department of Aging does. You know, a lot of folks, to our chagrin, don't know what we do or don't even know that we have a Department of Aging. So any help you guys can help with us, but getting the word out, the message, we appreciate that. I brought materials here for you guys. Please take as many as you like. I'll go over what each one is here. If you don't get it for yourself, maybe a parent, a neighbor, anyone you might know, please pass it on.
And I'll take what you need upstairs. I have a ward office here, and I'll keep the whatever
Perfect.
leftovers in the ward office.
Leftovers. I got some bonus back here as well too.
Okay.
So I got Lynn. I'm gonna have to load you up.
Hi, how you doing? Good. There's a sign sheet if you want to leave me your name or email or phone for the follow.
So a few of the things that I brought here to the hot topic item for us right now is our heat summer pricing program. If you guys aren't familiar, that is the program to help with your heating utilities in the summer. There's also a winter crisis program that runs in the winter. This is you gotta be 60 years of age or older. And that's one of the things too. Folks often ask us, how old do you gotta be to be a senior? We say about 60 for most programs. That's about right. But we also do serve adults with disabilities, though. That's one thing that a lot of folks don't know about us. That if you're 18 to 59 and are on disability, you qualify for pretty much everything that the seniors qualify for as well.
That has to be, I believe, permanent disability and not, there's different varying degrees of
Correct.
disability, and it can be permanent.
It is permanent disabled, so it's not like short-term disability. So if you're injured but going to be making a recovery, that wouldn't necessarily be for you.
Okay.
But if you are younger and maybe you have total permanent blindness or something like that, that might be something that we can talk to you about some of our programs. Absolutely. Also, very timely right now is the Property Tax Assistance Program that's being done through CHN, the Community Housing Network Housing Partners Program. This is how much assistance can I receive? Up to $10,000 for helping your property taxes. So if you or someone you know is behind on property taxes, you are eligible to be foreclosed on by the county if you are behind on your property taxes. So if you see people lose their home because of that, this is a program that can help out. We also have a great person in our office. Her name is Shawnee. She works with what we call our Economic Security Project, helping people with finances, different financial issues, getting signed up for programs just like this to help make just the financial life a little bit easier. One thing seniors often tell us is that they don't have enough money to sort of like budget with, but I think it's just the opposite. You got to make stretch, $1,000, $700 to what someone else who's working. They might get $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a month. You got to go just as far in a month as they do. So,
Property tax foreclosure is really unfortunate. It is also rare. I would say 9 out of 10 property tax foreclosures end up being on vacant properties because they're just they're the zombies, as we used to call them, and they go unpaid, and after a while the county will trigger. But for people that live in their homes and have fallen behind on their taxes, particularly if they are mortgage free, we will bend over backwards, and I've seen the county go out of their way to come up with payment arrangements, even if it means that the county is going to delay their full payment for years on end to keep people in their homes. So if you know somebody that's behind on their taxes and they're elderly, they don't have a mortgage, and the tax burden is their struggle, send them to me. I will work with the Department of Aging or anybody else, with a few other partners, to help get them right. Because nobody should be losing their house because of tax debt. It's mostly a tool we use when the houses go vacant, abandoned. So it shouldn't happen to one of our residents. If it is happening, that's right.
Yeah, exactly. Let your councilman know. Contact the county. Contact these programs. There is help available. Like you say, they're very generous with their payment plans. So that's one thing too for a lot of our programs, particularly that home repair programs that I get into in a moment. You need to be current on your taxes or be on a payment plan for 3 months. That's what we ask for, just to see that you're making progress on these things. One big thing here I want to share with you guys here, if you have not seen this is the thing out here. File a life. You guys seen this before? If you don't know what this is a great page here. You fill this out. You stick it on your fridge. So if EMS ever has to come to your door, and they never have to, but if they do, and you're unresponsive or you're home alone, there's no one to talk on your behalf, this is going to have all your information, all your medical information is going to be on here. You're going to list your conditions, you're going to list your medications on here. And when EMS comes in your house, they look for this.
I'll see you, Chrissy.
They look for this on your fridge, and if it's there, they'll take it.
Thanks.
They just got a big help. You just help yourself out by helping EMS know, I'm allergic to this medication. I want these medications. I need this and that. That way your transition to like a hospital or anything like that is going to be emergency rooms going to be so much easier if they can provide this information. Please take these. You got 2 of these here in each packet and a little sheet here that sort of explains more about File Life. Take these, stick it on your fridge, stick it somewhere where EMS will see this. It's no joke that this saves lives. So please take these. Some of the more things that are going on here, a new program here being put out by a few different groups is the Low Income Household Water Assistance Program. So if you're a low income, 175% federal poverty level household, you can get help on your water bill. So if you guys don't know about that one, that's yeah.
Okay, I see you in the water bill. Tell them
Oh, okay.
can I get File Life for
Let's
this?
see, who's eligible? Residents responsible for a water and or sewer bill with a household income of 175% have to be a home. So it doesn't say you have to be a homeowner, it just says you gotta be
Whose
responsible
bill is
for the water.
whose
bill.
name is the billing?
My landlord.
Okay. Then we can, let's work on it.
Yeah, that might be something, that might be a conversation you need to have with your landlord or negotiation. If there's a way to make the payments easier, maybe they're willing to work on that.
The sewer department just made their program available for tenants with landlords on the bill.
Okay.
So there is an understanding about that issue, and they're working on it.
Do I call you or do I call?
I would start here,
Start here.
I would start with this information, and then if you run into a roadblock, call me.
Okay.
Okay, and I'll help you with the roadblock.
Okay, thank you.
Because they might already have it figured out for you.
Yeah, okay.
And then if you guys only take one thing, you guys take 2 things. I want you to take 2 things no matter what from this table. If you take 2 things, make sure it's this. This is our brochure about what we do here. This is all of our major programs. Starting over here, we have we call our social service programs. That's our information assistance line, like 211. That's our benefits assistance. So if you got questions on Medicare, Medicaid, food stamps, anything like that, you can call in there, get help. They'll help you fill out the paperwork for things. There's a questionnaire they'll go through to see if there's anything else maybe you know you're eligible for. They'll help you out with. There's our economic security project. We touched on that a little bit. Our options counselor. That's a big one for folks who don't know a lot about in-home health services, or you don't know about nursing homes in the area. You got questions like, how do I pay for it? What am I eligible for? Things like that. That's what our options counselor does. They can talk to you, you talk to families, it can be a group discussion if that's what you like. They can come to you and explain, here's how these systems work, here's how these facilities work, here's how in-home healthcare works, and help you, possibly get signed up for something like that. Homelessness prevention, if you're a senior renter or adult disability renter and you're in danger of being kicked out of your apartment, we actually do have some cash assistance that can help out with that. But we cut on your rent a little bit. Supportive services, that's just where we come out to your house, say hello, get our eyes on you. This happens a lot. This is a great way that we meet seniors actually. Come out, we get a call that someone needs a little bit of help. We send out one of our supportive service workers. They come out, maybe they bring some applications like this, maybe they bring actually some food. We have a small food pantry in our department, so if we learn someone is food insecure, we can bring them a small supply to get them sort of stable for the time being. do that, get to meet seniors that way, introduce them to our department, so that way they're maybe more in line with, or more in tune to what we're doing here, see if we can put them out more. Then just, we got our home repair programs real quick, our shack program, great program, but for those who are low income, typical repairs like roof replacements, major electrical work, major plumbing work, steps, porches, ramps, things like that. We got our chore department who, starting here in a few weeks, will be cutting grass for seniors. In the fall, they do leaf cleanup. In the winter, they even shovel a path for safety purposes. It's not the whole driveway as we would like it to be, but it's a safety path so you can get out to your door.
We good?
Is it too late if residents call, because I know there's a deadline on it for chores?
I'll tell you, it's a soft deadline.
Okay.
It's not so much a date that's the deadline, is that it's a cap that's a deadline.
Of people.
We only have so much capacity.
Okay.
And so we're still accepting people.
Okay.
But I would say just don't wait.
All right.
Get it as soon as possible.
We get lots of phone calls after the 1.5 foot of snow has fallen for shoveling.
Yeah.
But this is Cleveland, you should anticipate that and sign up ahead.
Yeah, and you know what, we make every effort to get out there as soon as possible, but full disclosure, when you got 700 people signed up,
Right.
and you got a handful of people doing this work, and we don't always make it everybody, and I'm sorry about that, but I just ask folks to be understanding with that, and then of course, we have our tree assistance program. If you got a tree that's leaning up against your house and it's damaging your house, the city does have a program that will cut it down.
What about garages? Trees
Is it attached?
interfering with garage?
I think, if I remember correctly, and please don't quote me, I think if it's an attached garage, it still counts. If it's detached, it might not, okay?
Fair enough.
I think that's how it works.
What about limbs from a neighbor's tree that's coming over onto your property, onto your roof or something? Do you trim those?
I think that still does qualify if it is touching your house.
Okay.
Because that is your responsibility.
It's an attached issue.
Once it
exactly
crosses the property line, it becomes your property.
That's right.
Okay.
And
Must
so
be watching people's car.
yeah, I know.
Those
It's,
cases all the time.
Cleveland employees, we're all experts on tree law.
Yep, and that and public remediation or public arguments, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That stem from
Grievances.
Grievances, thank you, that does happen. And then we have our carry-alls program too. That is a daily, up to a daily, Monday through Friday, safety checkup phone call that'll call you, say, hey, are you okay? Press 1 if you are. If you're not, we call you personally. If you don't find us still, we call your contact person. If we can't get them, or if they don't know what's going on with you, then we send someone out to your house. And we will kick in your door to make sure you're okay. We have saved lives with this program. I was on a call, I manage this program, yes, someone else does the work, but I manage it though. And a couple years ago, we had a lady who didn't answer the call, so I went out. It was in the afternoon, I went out there to check on her. Her contact person met me there, they were a key holder, thank goodness. That made it work a little bit easier, but we get in there and she was standing at the fridge and she can't tell us for how long she's been standing at the fridge.
Oh, wow.
She had fallen the day before and injured her hip, and she got to the fridge and as she described it, she was locked in place.
Oh,
And
yeah.
hadn't moved from there for probably hours.
Mhm.
And this was on a Friday. If we didn't go out there, she was gonna fall at some point, she was getting tired, she was gonna fall down, injure her hip again, who knows how long she could have laid there. EMS came out, we took her to Metro. I really do believe we saved a life that night. Now, I will say, she got upset with us because she didn't, after she had gone to the ER, she disagreed that it was a problem. Having stood at the fridge all day long, she didn't think it was a problem, so she got upset with us about that. But I do believe that we did the right thing, and I think we saved her back. So please take this is our brochure. We do have our special events listed here. Senior Day is a big one, some of you guys might be familiar. It typically takes place in May. We pushed it back this year. We are going to have Senior Day again. It's typically a 2,000 person event, happens at Public Hall in May, but we pushed it back to the fall of this year. More information to come soon. But it's going to be a dual event though, in person with a capped audience. and also be pushed live on TV 20. So more information to come soon. And then last thing, for all that we do, we're just a part of the network. This is our older adults resource guide for the 5-county area. We work closely with the Western Reserve Area Agency on Aging. They are an appointed by the state Area Agency on Aging for our 5-county area. They receive a lot of state funding and then subcontract out with different nonprofits and groups around, including the Department of Aging. Many of our programs are made possible through them and the work that they do with the state, who then work with the Older Americans Act at the federal level. But everything I talked about is going to be in here, plus everything else that's more than the Department of Aging.
Is that a new publication, or I've got one at home, but
Yep,
it's a
we
couple of years.
put out a new one every year.
Okay, I'll get it.
So yeah, please do that, and hope you take it all home. Please grab it back. And it's got our information there for our home energy program assistance on there, so the heat program. Any questions for me? Anything I can help you guys out with?
Is your office is still in City Hall, or?
We are not City Hall. We've not been in City Hall for probably 15 years or so.
Where you're located?
So we are at 75 Erie View Plaza, right? The AT&T building, just the AT&T building is also on the 9th Street side.
Okay.
We're on the 12th Street side.
Right behind the gallery.
Yeah, right next door to the gallery.
Is there a sign in the lobby that tells you
Oh yeah. So if you come down to our area, you enter through our building where it's sort of like in a little court walkway area.
Yeah.
There's some big red pillars entering there. Talk to the security guard, and
Is it walk-in, or do you have to make an appointment? Or?
you can walk in. We respond to walk-ins. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Adam. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
We'll leave this here and everybody can grab one on the way out.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. Yeah, appreciate you guys. Thank you.
We're just gonna go to public portion now.
The office is open upstairs. I've got some more of those neighborhood newsletters. So we should be open here Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from noon to 7. Please call. We're doing it by appointment to start off, seeing what the overall demand is, but I can be here as late as 8 o'clock. It's open until 8 o'clock, so anybody who works first shift and needs, or works second shift and needs to come in earlier, should be available here for access to the neighborhood. I'm up on the 2nd floor by the pool balcony. Just opened up this week, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, the last 2 weeks you've been working.
Yeah, yeah. So the office is up and running, and if anything's on anybody's mind, now's the time to talk about it. How's everybody doing? Been good? Nobody came here with any big neighborhood complaints? No neighborhood disputes? No? Nothing?
Summer's coming.
Huh?
This summer's coming. Maybe next
Summer's coming.
We'll have something sooner.
I've begun door knocking on the houses that we've identified as having dirt bikes, to let them know that we're aware that they have dirt bikes and they're not street legal. I don't know if this is helping yet, but we're going to find out. So if you've got a dirt bike, an ATV, a 4-wheeler in your neighborhood and you know who it is, because everybody knows it's Chuck down the block, it's his kid, and we all know. Let me know. I'm happy to go talk to him and be neighborly about it. Nobody's in trouble right away. Sometimes people pretend like they didn't even know this was illegal.
You're not going with a police officer?
I'm not going with a police officer. I won't even wear a tie if it helps. I do a lot of these on Saturdays, just in jeans and but I introduce myself to the councilman and let people know that this is a concern in the neighborhood. Those dirt bikes aren't street legal. They're not allowed to be out there. And sometimes just letting them know that somebody's paying attention to them could potentially have an impact. Hi. Are you with Case?
No.
Oh, okay, cool.
I am here about recycling.
Oh, that's next month.
Next one?
Come on in.
What is this meeting?
Seniors. It's the Ward 13 monthly Ward Club meeting. Ward 13 meeting.
Okay.
But recycling as a meeting topic is next month.
Okay.
But you're welcome to hang out.
Okay.
Sit down.
Did you have questions or answers?
Questions.
Oh, okay. Have a seat. Maybe we'll get to answer them. Or you can land. It's a free country. You can stay or go.
So I got a question on your door knocking. If you go door knocking, do you ever take any literature with you to show them, like, maybe you guys should ride here?
Like where to go to ride?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't know where to send them. Where can they go to ride? Do you know?
Call me later.
Okay.
Yes,
Sure.
there's probably an easy dozen places in Ohio. There's probably, I'm gonna say at least 6 within an hour.
Dirt bikes are fun as hell, I'm gonna lie. They're really, really fun things to ride. Just not up and down our residential streets, right? There's a whole culture for dirt biking in this country. And if there's places within really short, yeah, we'll definitely hook that up, and I'd love to give them that
It's like there's
information.
mines and meadows in PA right across the border. It's like 500 acres and nothing but trails you could ride.
That's great, that's great. So also the other thing is I've started my code enforcement sweeps. I think I sent out my first 500 letters this week. The one thing that is just gonna be the same on every block, it doesn't matter where you live. No one's allowed to park in their yard. We're just not gonna do this. We're not gonna turn into that neighborhood. You can't park in your yard. Nobody,
No, on the lawn.
Oh, on the lawn.
yeah, the
Oh,
yard,
okay.
your lawn,
Yeah,
yeah,
you said
Wait a minute.
you can't park in your,
in your yard.
in your-
You said our yard.
The driveway is fine, the
Oh,
yard
okay.
is the grass, it's
Grass,
part with the
okay.
grass, that's where you can't park.
right.
Right.
The lawn, okay. You can't park in your lawn.
Okay, gotcha.
You can park in your driveway, you can park in the street, you can park in the back, but you can't park in the grass in front of your house, okay? I'm always gonna knock on your door if I see
Right.
people parking in their front yard. It's kind of silly, but people always act like they don't know. Every single time, hey, I'm the councilman, we're not allowed to park in our yards. Oh, I didn't know that. Really?
Well, because he
Well,
left
now
to
you
go.
do.
He left to go. I have a question.
And one last thing, you have to keep your garbage cans behind your front door. You can't keep your garbage cans in front of the porch. They
Oh,
have to be
okay.
behind your front door.
Okay.
And if they're not in your backyard, they're supposed to be shielded by something. If they are in your driveway, you can keep them behind your front door if you put like a little visible barrier so people don't have to look at your trash. But we can't, under no circumstances, can trash be kept in the front yard.
Oh,
You can't
okay.
keep your garbage
Okay.
bins in the front.
Mine's on the
And
side.
if it's a senior that needs help, that's why Adam's here. We have a chore program if seniors really need help and they can't get their garbage cans out. But that's the other one that I'm just not gonna entertain notions of keeping garbage cans in front of the porch.
Okay,
Go
got
ahead.
a question. We had the old Brooklyn people come out 2 months ago, and she found all kind of rodents on,
When you say the old Brooklyn people, who do you mean?
I can't think of her name. She took pictures from old Brooklyn and she came on
The
review.
CDC, Community Development Corporation?
Yeah,
Okay.
and she took pictures and found all kind of rodents on.
Oh, okay.
Revere Court. Well, somehow we got a raccoon that came in our garden.
Well, yeah, you overlook the metro parks. You
Right.
got raccoons, you got
Right,
skunks,
yeah,
you got
yeah,
possums,
yeah,
you
I
got
got
deer.
Yeah, well, the deer
Yeah.
don't bother me.
Oh, okay.
They jump my fence, they don't bother me.
So you're gonna have all of those little woodland creatures.
But what can I do about the raccoons and skunks?
Precious little. You live you live right next to the metro parks.
Right.
And they are going to live in those trees behind your house.
But what can I do about keeping them out of my garbage? I put a brick on.
Do you? Yeah, the brick doesn't keep them out?
No, and
Okay.
I even put a cable ties over it.
Well, that should definitely, if you're
No.
locking them down.
Nope, they still can crawl up and get the cable tie. I had garbage thrown everywhere 2 weeks ago.
Well,
I put
let's
vinegar.
put the call out for who has figured out how to create a raccoon-proof
Okay.
garbage seal, because usually
Or
a
can-
brick is good enough to not be
Mine
terribly
and my
strong.
neighbor next door, remember, I told you
Okay.
two doors down,
Yeah.
they feed them.
Yeah, well, that's not allowed either.
Right,
Which is funny because they don't have a hard time finding food. These
Right.
animals thrive,
But-
because they're so crafty
I
at
need
eating.
some kind of help, traps or something.
So the city has a trap program, to trap raccoons, but here's the problem. You could literally trap raccoons for the rest of your life and not be done with them because of where you live.
Right.
That's a huge,
This is first
That's
year
a-
that I've had so
Really?
many problems.
that's a Revere Court is right
Right
next to
to
the metro
the-
parks, and you're just always gonna have wildlife and critters in
Right.
that part of town.
Right,
And I encourage people, the problem is you don't wanna catch the skunk. I mean, I know you're thinking maybe we're gonna catch a raccoon and we're gonna remove them and that goes to raccoons, but A, more raccoons will come in their place. And B, if you do get a skunk, now you've got a trapped skunk on your hands.
Right.
Really, nobody wants to deal with trapped skunks. I mean, you can also remove them and more are just gonna show up, so
Yeah.
you're not really solving a problem,
well, I put
unfortunately.
vinegar out and I've also put ammonia all in my garbage.
Yeah, how's that, is that working?
The ammonia did and the vinegar did for a week.
Okay.
So I'm gonna keep doing
I
that.
have people that swear up and down on both sides of this debate. Some people say it absolutely works, and some people say it's a complete waste of
Well, I
time.
put a lot, so,
What about mothballs?
That's the part, one of the other ones that I hear
Yeah.
both
You
arguments.
know, if you put it maybe in your trash can or
Right.
something. Also, so that, there you go. Also that, you know, the city, you can't get traps from the city. You rent them though. You have to
Yeah.
go down, you pick them up. There's like, I believe, a $20 fee. And if you catch like possum, raccoons, that kind of, if you call them, they will come, the animal control will come and pick them up, except for skunks. Skunks,
Okay.
if you trap them, then you have to do something with them. And then when you return the trap, they will refund you your $20.
oh, okay.
But
And-
raccoons and that, the city will pick up, but they will not pick up skunks if
And-
you trap them.
And if you do get a skunk in a trap, what you need is a tarp.
Yeah.
And you have to hold it up in front of you and walk slowly to the trap and lay it over the trap
So it don't
and
spread.
settle down for a minute.
Okay.
Then once it gets a little bit darker, they will not, like, you darken it
Right.
and you have to use a tarp because
Okay.
otherwise you're walking into.
But this is the first time I've ever, had problems.
Yeah,
Well-
so I'll look around for how to keep your trash can sealed, because that's the only thing I can think of, because you're
Okay.
not gonna get rid of the animals.
Okay.
That's never gonna happen. It's like trying to remove birds.
He's over here trying to open a restaurant, he said, on Pearl and State, right next to the library.
There is a young man, I met with him, he, right across the street from the library.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah, he has been working with restaurant development for a number of years. He's helped a lot of successful restaurants start up. I met with him and walked through. It's a really exciting project.
Where are you supposed to park for that?
Oh, well, he's got a lot behind the building.
Enough to park for enough for his customers
We're,
to
we're,
park
we're, we're gonna work on that plan.
in. Yeah.
There's, the library also has some parking that might be available. We're gonna work on it though, because I think we'd like to see more businesses
Yeah.
open up in the neighborhood, especially, businesses support each other. If you get a couple of restaurants together and people know they can go to downtown Old Brooklyn, there's a few different places to eat. It really helps all of our businesses, so I met with him, he definitely seems like he's got a good head on his shoulders and, has a pretty interesting plan. So I
See that, where they're gonna park at.
we'll work on that, we'll work on that. The most popular neighborhood in Tremont right now, in Cleveland right now is Tremont, there's not a single place to park.
Right.
Right? People all, I hear all the time, we want this to be more like Tremont, okay, well, kiss parking goodbye.
I want it to be less like Tremont. I don't want
Less
Tremont's
like
property
Tremont.
taxes.
Okay, I got you. But a couple restaurants would be nice. Another restaurant to keep Opal company would be really cool. So. Anything else on anybody's mind? So it is almost 6:30, and I do want to hustle over to the other side of town. Like I said, the mayor comes to our council meetings every single Monday. So I think I owe it to him to go to one State of the City address per year. So I'm gonna get over there. If you have any other issues, Debbie works in my office here, and she can take down your name and number if you didn't leave it. If anything else is on anybody's mind. Other than that, I apologize for having a brief meeting tonight, but next month is gonna be about recycling. Please spread the word on this. There's a lot of questions about recycling. We've got the city's #1 guy in charge of the whole program coming down here. He's a good dude, he's all about recycling. He will stay here for an hour and answer all the questions in the neighborhood, but people do have to opt in. It's gonna be a sign-up program. If you don't opt in, they're going to come take your blue bin.
Can you
You're not
get
gonna
two,
get to keep
can
your
we get
blue.
two blacks then?
No, you get one. They're going to come take the other one if you don't opt in. And there's a big, long reason that's gonna take an hour to explain. We're not gonna do it tonight. But please, if you have questions about recycling, whether you've opted in or you're still trying to decide, spread the word, get everybody here next month. We're gonna talk about recycling.
If you
Would they
opted
be
in
able-
last year, still.
Yeah, did you fill out the online form late November, last fall? They rolled it out. Yeah, in your
Was I mistaken? Were we supposed to talk about Alzheimer's? I thought.
There was supposed to be somebody here from Case Western to talk about Alzheimer's, but I'm guessing they forgot.
Yeah, they have Alzheimer's.
I don't know what
Yeah.
to say. I confirmed with them last week. And they said they were gonna be here. They wanted to talk about Alzheimer's research
The
and,
mayor's sitting over there.
but here's the thing, they're from the college. There's like a researcher. I figured this is like part of their research that they would be here because, they've got research to conduct. So I assumed that they were gonna be here, so My apologies on their behalf.
Nobody loves us.
Kris, do you know, when they come about recycling, are the people gonna be able to opt in that night if they want to? Will he?
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna,
Can you sign?
they
up?
are gonna leave opt-in, I think, until the end of April.
Okay.
So, I'm sorry, the end of May.
And
Oh.
So they're gonna be here the second Wednesday of May, okay, for, these meetings are always the second Wednesday of the month. They're gonna be here the second Wednesday in May, and I believe opt-in ends at the end of May.
Okay.
So people that are trying to decide whether or not they wanna opt in should come next month as well, because we'll be able to answer their questions.
Right.
Okay?
Please make sure you take the literature
Yes.
and the bags. You left some there, whatever's left over, Kris, I'll just pick up.
Yeah, I'll unlock the office on the way out. I'll run through and unlock it real quick. When you hold it, it automatically locks, it stays locked.
Okay.
So if you just wanna drop this stuff off in the
Okay.
desk upstairs.
Sure.
Yeah, did you not sign it? Okay.
You know what, just don't email. I never.
Don't? Okay.
No, I
Who's
never.
Lazar?
Me.
You know Bob Lazar?
No.
Bob Lazar's a good guy.
And she's a good lady.
Kris, before I leave, do I need to do anything with the chairs?